All righty. Good afternoon. My name is Jordan Ivory, Program Director here at the Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky African American Chamber of Commerce. It is truly my pleasure to be here with you today. It's been a little while since I have actually hosted a program myself. We were lucky enough to have MBAC, the Minority Business Assistance Center, kick us off during COVID. I guess we're still during COVID, right? But was able to kick us off during COVID and then keep it rolling through in terms of tech foundations with Joshua Reed in the Minority Business Assistance Center. So we're super happy to have that programming happening on that end as well. And we encourage you guys to check out their website at mbaccincy, CINCY.com, and check out their programs and things that are happening. Most of them spill over into our calendar as well. So if you're checking our website, you'll see that. Before we kick off, we are rounding out the month of September and opening up into quarter number 4. And I want to welcome you guys into programming here with the African American Chamber as we close out another quarter and look into October. We have a ton of stuff coming up, and I will not take up our time here before the program to talk about those things. But I want to, I will encourage you that if you are watching the recap, I will talk about those things at the end. My name is Jordan Ivory. I'm the program director at the African American Chamber, but I'm also a freelance digital strategist. I work with clients to help source digital items and content of all kinds. My real specialty is in repurposing content across multiple platforms, as well as tangible items as well. So I help companies find ways to take content and then place it over a multitude of different things. So Facebook, all the social media networks, so LinkedIn, Twitter, as well as like Instagram and those sorts of things. If they're a more niche business or something that is looking to get a little bit more traction in a more different ways, there's different opportunities on Pinterest, as well as with the new features on LinkedIn, it's becoming a little bit more exciting for most, but also on the other piece of it as well is that there's these new platforms like TikTok, as well as I said Pinterest, but like Yelp and these sorts of things, depending on your business and exactly who you cater to and what you serve. So today we will jump into a lot of different items that are in regards to sourcing testimonials for your business. And this program is super awesome because testimonials are super near and dear to a business because we are truly in this digital age. So testimonials, of course, have come from a multitude of places. And a testimonial is a customer that has actually frequented the business or has come and actually utilized the product, the service, and they are there to give a review. A lot of companies do testimonials in a lot of different ways, and we will talk about different ways that you can utilize testimonials to gain more traction in your brand. We will also talk about some of the pitfalls and the ways that individuals navigate those pitfalls as well, because sometimes brands run into trouble and you have to do customer service on the back end. So there's different ways that it works. As we jump into things, I want you to think about individuals that are inside of your business network that have had a great experience, not just a good, but a great experience inside of your business or with your product or service. And at this time, I want you to write down 3 to 4 individuals that you have in mind. Three to 4 individuals that you have in mind that have had a great, not just a good, but a great experience with your business, brand, or product or service. Okay, so we've got some names down, okay? And I think that it makes sense that those key people always come to mind first. Now, as we think about all of these things that we'll discuss today, I want you to keep these individuals in mind and see if they fit into these categories. So testimonials can be formatted in a multitude of ways. And I want to talk about the pros and the cons. We know testimonials in a multitude of ways because we see them all the time. A lot of us seek them out. Myself, I'm a foodie, so Yelp is really my go-to, especially when I'm in a new city or I see a new spot pop up on my radar that I may not have known about. So I'll go to the phone, I'll immediately type in Yelp, find the app, jump in there, and I'll type in the name of the business, okay? And for this example, we'll just say Ponderosa, okay? And so for Ponderosa, when you pop up on Yelp, it populates a ton of different information. Shows you the ability to call the restaurant, where it's at, where it's located, and a 5-star rating that has been a consensus among all the voters. Some restaurants are not claimed, some restaurants are claimed. Okay, so there's the ability to actually have the business actually involved in what's being said and what's being promoted. So an unclaimed business means that nobody from the business is actually curating the page. If it is a claimed business, it means that the restaurant or the business is actually taking care of the Yelp page themselves, okay, and reviewing comments as well as reviews. So just things to keep in mind, okay? Reason being is that individuals that have a great experience, a good experience, a mediocre experience, or a poor experience can express themselves on these social media platforms like Yelp. They can also go to Google. They can also go to your Facebook page. They can also go to these different places and say if they've had a great, good, mediocre, or poor experience, okay? And we obviously want to make sure that the good outweighs the bad. We have a ton of business, I'm sure, that's been coming in if you're in this digital sphere. If you are not in this digital sphere and you maybe were having, a lot of traction pre-COVID and you've had to switch to the digital space, I think testimonials can be a great way to rev up your business. And so the long story short of that was that testimonials help businesses really thrive. We did a program last month called The State of Black Culture with Dr. Andre Perry and the Reverend Al Sharpton. And one thing that really stuck out to me, and that's why I used the Yelp example, is because Dr. Andre Perry talked about us not actually being in the space for those things. So individuals that are not necessarily comfortable in a certain neighborhood may not actually come to that restaurant. So they do not have the ability to actually review them. The other side of that too is that individuals then may not feel comfortable in that space, may have enjoyed that food previously and now have a takeout experience versus the other. So there's a different take on what the customer experience is. And obviously it is much different when you have take-home food, a carry-out item, right, versus something that's inside of their physical space and getting that customer experience from them. You want to give your customer base a well-rounded viewpoint. So if you have some time, I want you to go to your computer, go to Google, and I want you to search your business name. I want you to see if there's any reviews that have been posted about you. I want you to audit what comes up. So what are maybe the first 10 to 15 things that pop up when I search my business? If you cannot find your business in that very first search, I want you to try to utilize key point words to actually take you to your business page, okay? And the reason being is that it will help you navigate kind of how the consumer is navigating to your business. The other side of that too is that if something does not pop up right away, a consumer may not value what you have to say. And we will touch base here in just a little bit on exactly how you can rev your stuff up to the top. Those 3 to 4 individuals that you wrote down in this sphere, obviously we know that they are on that great side, okay? I tell clients and companies that you should try to outweigh the bad with the good, okay? So if someone has a poor experience that is talking about, we'll stick on to the Ponderosa theme, that the wings were too crispy, okay? And that's what they wrote on their Yelp review. Okay, this is a review, all right? So individuals, and it may not be a true testimonial, individuals treat it just as such though, okay? So the viewer sees it that way. Excuse me. The concept is that if the wings are too crispy, you kind of want to find somebody that also is talking about the wings in a different light too. Now, I'm not saying you need drastic changes, okay? Where somebody's saying, oh, the wings are good, oh, the wings are bad. Not like that, okay? That's not a problem either. But try to give the consumer a well-rounded experience. Ask individuals to leave you feedback. Ask individuals to leave you specific feedback on a certain item. You could run a small promotion, okay? And in return for that, they must fill out a survey. They must give feedback or create incentive to get that feedback, okay? And so promotions and that sort of thing are a great way to do it in retail. In different brands and businesses, obviously there's different ways, but you want to make sure that you are getting feedback. Okay. There are a multitude of ways that you can source testimonials. Okay. And as we talk about this, I want you to keep all of these things in mind along with your people. And I know I'm asking a lot of you today, and I want you to stay focused on it. The reason being, okay, that all of these things are working with you, and we've just used the Yelp example along with Google, okay, is that these things are floating in the ecosystem, okay, and you want to make sure that you have the best digital presence ever, okay. Individuals can go to your website, and obviously that's tailored by someone in your business or yourself that is putting out the information that is being posted for the public view. Yelp, Google, different places like that, you do not necessarily have control over all aspects of what is being published about your business. Reason being is that they want it to be fair, right? They want to be able to give everyone a voice. When you look to source testimonials, okay, you want to try to go to the same exact spaces, and you want to look for reviews that align with what you're trying to market, what you're trying to create in terms of the customer viewpoint of what you have. And the way that you do that is you repurpose it onto your page in a multitude of ways, okay? So you can source testimonials by going to Yelp, okay? Making sure that your page is set up, making sure that it's claimed, okay? And setting up your business in there. If you have a business of any kind that has a physical storefront, Yelp is a great space for you. I know during these digital times, they have now started touching into the digital space with some brands and businesses, but try your best to get your business or your brand on Yelp so you can start to garner reviews, okay? If your business has a website, you are already inside of the Google directory, okay? You want to then go in and claim yourself as a business, okay? And open up the opportunity for individuals to review you. If you have already done this inside of your G Suite network, you want to make sure that you're reviewing these items on a regular basis. Reason being is that you want to make sure that individuals are, number one, actually engaging, okay? And if they're not, you want to tweak kind of the strategy on how you're getting people to the actual site or to the feedback or to the survey form. The other piece of it is that maybe individuals are leaving, positive or negative feedback, but you want to be sure that you are responding, okay? Whether it is positive or negative, okay? It is truly crucial that you respond to each person, okay, in a relatively timely manner. Reason being is that you want to give the customer an experience, okay, of that they are a part of the community of your business, and especially in the digital ecosystem of your business. The other piece of it too is that you also want to make sure that the disgruntled or the individual who did not have a great experience feels heard. They are 10 times more likely to revise or leave a new review if the experience has changed, as well as the individual brand or business asks for them to revise the feedback. And I think that that's really cool that, the stats show that people that are asked after giving them a positive experience tend to go back and review and edit what they have said in the negative light. And so not only do you lose a negative piece of PR, of testimony out there, you also gain a positive piece too, which is only pushing you in the right direction. You have to keep in mind that your business is up against, okay, multiple businesses inside of the same sort of sphere that you're doing, okay, and that you're operating within. There are a ton of people inside of your industry, right? And people say that there's no new things under the moon, right? However, you want to make sure that you are separating yourself, okay? And the best way to do that is to have a community of individuals that are talking about you. This is so important that so many businesses, even large scale companies, are going out and paying people to leave positive feedback. I'm going to drop a little behind the scenes, Jim. If you go to a spot called upwork.com, you can hire freelancers for a multitude of things. One of the things that they hire freelancers for on that site are for positive feedback commenting. Okay, so they'll pay you to go onto Facebook, they'll pay you to go onto Google, they'll pay you to go onto Yelp, and they will ask you to leave positive feedback about a company, and they will pay you for it. I always tell individuals that are sourcing through the internet, and Aku Williams will pat me on the back for saying this to you too during this program, but you have to be mindful of what you're reading on the internet. Okay, and you have to be mindful of what people are presenting, especially from that space. So when you have positive testimonies on your website and you have negative testimonies on your Google site, okay, on your Google search space, you want to make sure that those things are aligned. Okay, businesses are always going to have the good and the bad. Okay, but you want to make sure that individuals that are searching out your business are able to see more good than bad. And you want to make sure that there is cohesion, okay, in the positive light, okay, of your business. You definitely don't want things to be on the negative end of this, okay? Sourcing testimonials, okay? So I said we could go to Yelp, all right? And if our Yelp page isn't set up, we need to do that. We can go to Google. And if our Google business page is not set up, we need to do that, okay? Our third thing that we can do, okay, is go to Facebook, all right? Facebook also accepts reviews. Ask your customer and give you feedback. Okay, Facebook and those individual social media platforms are able to actually give you that kind of content. Inside of the chamber, it's a little bit differently. We don't necessarily get a lot of feedback on our social media. However, due to our contract with the city of Cincinnati, we have to show that we are actually surveying our members, okay, and asking them how programming is going. What's the feedback? How are you enjoying the different things that we're doing? And so you get a form, and I'm sure if you've been to a program just like today, as I sent it to you as you entered into the room, the survey form. And if you are on the replay, it is down below in the info box, okay? So be sure to take it after you enjoy this program today. But it allows individuals to write to me exactly what they've experienced. Now, unlike SurveyMonkey and some of these blind survey forms, we actually leave a space for you to put your name. It is not a required field. Okay, so if you want to give us just blind feedback and anonymous feedback, that's no problem at all. We welcome that too. Okay, but if you put your name on it, so Jordan says that this was a 4 out of 5 star program, 5 out of 5 of my questions were answered, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm able to do the multiple choice, right? So then I say, these programs have helped me in X, Y, and Z. And I put my name on the top. So Jordan Ivory said these things. I then, as the individual who reviews it as program director, to actually put into our report and figure out exactly, what the feedback is, how we can better these programs. And so I'll see that and I'll say, oh my gosh, Jordan said some great things about us here on the forum. I'll reach out to Jordan and say, hey, can I utilize this in some of our future programming, testimonials, or outreach, or inside of our newsletter, or a spotlight of our members? It's a great way to garner testimonies. I'm going to sneeze. My apologies. Thank you for the bless yous. All righty. So the piece of it is that we know that how we're going to source these testimonials. Okay. So you grab one, survey your individuals. The last tip that I'm going to give you are ask individuals to give them to you. Okay. There's not a time where I buy something from Amazon and they are not hounding me about a review. Okay. There's not a time where I'm doing X, Y, and Z online where somebody doesn't send me, hey, can I give you this survey form to fill out about X, Y, and Z? I have Sprint. They've now merged into T-Mobile. And every time that I get anything from them or I have to change things around, they will, I'm trying to get a new iPhone 11 and that sort of thing. They'll send me, hey, can you give us some feedback about your call today with Tim? Okay. They are sourcing that stuff for a number of reasons. Some of that stuff is reformatted into the marketing material that you see presented to you to buy the products that they're selling. You have seen testimonials in action before. And so before we dive deep into actual ways that I want you to utilize your testimonials, I want to show you some testimonials that we have actually utilized with the chamber and with fellow partners with my company. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share the screen. So testimonials are easy to kind of grab once you know how to get them. And if you have an idea on how many testimonials you want, it makes it real easier to kind of go after those too. Okay, so we'll talk about implementing testimonials before we actually dive into the shared screen aspect. So the implementation of testimonials can be repurposed across a multitude of things. Obviously, they can live on those Facebook platforms, that Google platform, on Yelp as well on that platform, in regards to how good or bad the business is. Okay, we also want to make sure that we're cohesively, in a positive light, reflecting those testimonials onto our websites and our social medias by ourselves. Okay, so we want to make sure that as we're talking about these things, that they then get reposted or are then put into a branded kind of spotlight or feature post. Okay, that is then repurposed on those things. If you are putting out a brochure, testimonials work great in brochures. If you picked up the African American Chamber's 2020 brochure, you'll actually see 2 or 3 testimonials that are in there from members. And it gives you more of a homey feel, like family feel about what's happening. It's more of a deeper look, and it's from someone else's perspective that is outside of the chamber. It allows individuals to have a more custom experience in their mind about what they can tailor themselves to expect. Implementing testimonials is sometimes difficult because you're worried, that maybe X, Y, and Z is in play and you don't have like the most positive light with someone, or, you're trying to do things differently now. Testimonials can be a great way to kind of nudge your business in that next direction and in that right direction, because it allows you to kind of live off of the good things and not necessarily have to defend the bad by yourself. The other piece of it too is that a lot of companies, especially on the larger scale side, will come into a proposal, okay, and actually ask the individual that they're proposing to that we'll give you X, Y, and Z discount, okay, and in exchange, if you have a 5-star experience, would you mind leaving us a review or a testimonial from your board chair, your president, or the program director? Okay, someone of value that then they can then repurpose across their platforms. So implementing them is kind of, a simple part. More so sourcing them can be tough at first. I think that it tends to become simple. But if you can source 4 pieces of testimonies from previous clients, okay, then, or staff members, okay, then you can actually, have content for 4 weeks. Okay, you could drop it, maybe Monday spotlight, Thursday, Thursday talking, Wednesday walkthroughs with, so and so. Gives you the ability to repurpose it and brand it. Okay, so as you're thinking about it, I want to show you kind of some steps of some things that we have done as the chamber that have been in the testimonial format. So our previous board chair was John Moore, and he's still a phenomenal board member on our team. John gave us a testimonial. Okay, so as you see, we have a picture, we have his name, we have our logo present, so that way it's fully branded. We have his title, okay, of his business as well, and then talking about in the branded image about the African American Chamber. And truly, I think that, this speaks volumes because individuals, of course, know the More Air brand, but also now he's saying phenomenal things about the chamber. This is something that we can then print and pass out at programs. This is something that can be placed on a digital banner. This is something that can be posted inside of our social medias. This is something that can then be added at the end of our newsletters, okay? So there's a multitude of ways that this single item can be repurposed, talking about how great the African American Chamber has been for the last 20 years, okay? I'm gonna show you another example. So this is Kelly Prather, and she's a member of the chamber. So we have a board member, we have a member of the chamber. And so talking about how the chamber has been a resource for her and her small business in Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. So again, picture, okay, it even says testimonial, okay, which isn't a problem. It's no problem to highlight that. Everything is fully branded. Okay, and even the pictures kind of have the same. Okay. Now, that was our stage one of testimonials for the African American Chamber during this campaign. Okay. We then wanted to see something new. So then we started to design kind of sample ideas of what we wanted. Okay. So we saw what the other ones were with John as well as with Kelly. These here now, okay, are that next step up. So that 2.0 in our testimonials, okay. Great things are happening are our hashtag. And so this is a sample. Jody Watson of Candle Sense Inc. is not a real person, okay. This was our sample. So the AACC programs like Marketing Know-How have been extremely beneficial for my marketing growth. Okay, so they're a little less lengthy, okay, a little bit more to the point. The imagery is still just as equal, okay, to the text. The logos are apparent, okay. It just has a more fresh feel, okay. And so it does not necessarily negate the Kelly and John testimonials, okay. This is just a different look. Being at the chamber, we have a vast age range of individuals that read things in a vast, very changing ways. So from print to digital media. And so certain things are going to catch your eye, right? I read the Cincinnati Herald every week, and I typically read the same issue each week about 3 times because I typically miss a whole bunch. So certain things catch my eye at first, and then certain things catch my eye on the back end. And so just with testimonials, it's the exact same thing. So you don't want to just keep them looking the same. You want to have, maybe 5 to 10 that are in the same, but then you kind of want to switch it up, okay? And I'm not saying fully rebrand it, but just give it a fresher look. Take it to the next level. Find ways that you can maybe simplify it. Maybe talk about different things and give it a different look that's more based upon those themes, okay? So this was a sample, and I'll show you guys one more sample before I show you another one. So this is the opposite side. Okay, so those Kelly and John ones were actually on the same side. So the picture was on the left, the text was on the right. Okay, on this one, the text is on the right and the picture is on the left, but the last one, it was reversed. Okay, so now not only have we changed just the look, we actually have changed the dynamic of it too. Okay, because then when they're posted, it still looks fresh in and of itself there. Okay, so we want to make sure that you are focusing in on the call to action, which is actually going to be the word. So connecting to buyers was a huge problem for us in the past. The ACC has helped put my business in the right spaces to financially grow. Boom, Sam Smith. This is not a real person, by the way. Okay, so Sam Smith has these things to say. This is awesome. Okay, and when you tag these individuals on social media, when you put these individuals on social media and you tag them, you then open up your space to a whole network of individuals, as well as sharing capabilities for them to repost onto their page, which then opens up more optics. Now, those were examples. Let me show you some real deal individuals that are actually a part of the chamber that we utilize. Carol Brown with Plants Are Us is not real. I apologize. Larissa England, who's a phenomenal board member of ours. This is one of her testimonials. So still a little more lengthy than some of those examples, okay? And sometimes it's hard to put just, a bunch of kind words into a short sentence, right? You want to talk about it. So the African American Chamber of Commerce is the catalyst in the community that propels African American businesses forward through programming, networking, and providing opportunities to have a seat at the table. Incredible. Okay, so so it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, right? It is aesthetically pleasing. Okay, it represents Larissa. It is fully branded with the great things are happening, and that coincides with what's popping off the page in terms of her testimony. So we want to use these to truly rev up what you have going. Okay, now let me show you a couple more. Let's see. My toolbar is in the way, guys. Give me 1 second. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Let's see. All right. Back to Carol. Sorry about that. I wanted Danietta. So we have Danietta D. Bailey of Bailey Law Office. And as you see, this is kind of more on that format of the short and sweet. The African American Chamber cares about the success and sustainability of my business and has served as a valuable resource and advocate when needed. Thank you, Chamber. Short, sweet, Danietta D. Bailey. People know her. She's a part of the BLAC. She's also one of our phenomenal board members. And, you know, it truly coincides with great things are happening. Great person, great words. It then allows us to then repurpose this across a multitude of places. You've seen this scrolling in our lobby. You've seen these on our social media platforms from Instagram to Facebook. You've seen these things in a lot of different formats, okay, that are then repurposed. So just one designated and designed image can then be utilized across all these platforms to talk about the great things that are happening with your business, okay? Now, show you something a little different. I like to show people when I talk about testimonials, okay? And the reason why I like to do that is because you want to be able to connect the people's faces to the names. And you also want to be able to connect the words to the faces, okay? And the reason is because if you don't know the person, their brand or themselves are not recognizable, it is maybe seen that you do not have a real testimony. Okay, I know Simone Charles, right? She's a wonderful member of the African American Chamber, and she's the lead designer and owner of Social Butterfly Events. This testimonial is actually from an event with our board member Morgan A. Owens and partner the Cincinnati Herald for their event Working Women several years back. And these are a bit of the testimonials that we created for them for that campaign. They were talking about being working women, okay, and what that meant to them. So in this, these women won awards, okay? And in this, we were able to then give them digital assets to help promote, okay, what was happening in the partnership between the Herald and the MAO brand. And so with that, we have a bunch of testimonials, women talking about why they are working women and what being a working woman means to them. So being a working woman is having control of my domain and being able to control my own destiny, Simone Charles. So this is something talking about what working women is. If you don't know what working women is, okay, this now gives you kind of an insight on what it may be, all right? It also has this vibrant look, okay? It's positive. It looks good. Okay, people will want to engage and want to know more, all right? And this is just a piece of a whole campaign that was utilized. So Marietta Wade, she does amazing things. She was at 4C for Children. She's now the executive director at, I'm not going to lie to you, and she's not here today, but I should know this. But she is doing phenomenal things. And so same sort of setup. So talking about herself. And these are images that can then be repurposed, okay? Not only talking about the great things that are happening with working women, but also onto their pages, showcasing and spotlighting themselves and the words that they're saying, okay? So be in mind that you want to keep things in that same realm of repurposing for your business, but also for the individuals that are saying it, okay? Last one here with Cameo. So, you know, there's a lot of ways and a lot of different looks that you can do to create positive testimonials. Now I'm going to unshare my screen, so give me a hot second. All right, and so we're back. So testimonials are crucial for your business because they allow individuals and consumers that are out there looking for businesses inside of the industry that you're operating within, and they're looking for the best one, okay? And when your prices, okay, are maybe higher than market level, okay, or your product is a little bit more than what is typically out there, okay, or you're competing against larger retailers that have something at a lower price, some will take your business over the top of those individual entities. If there are ways that you are looking to engage customers with ways to do that kind of feedback for you, encourage them with forms. Encourage them, if you're sending a shipping item, that you throw a postcard in there, okay, that's maybe got a QR code that has the survey link to it, okay? Ask them, incentivize them to give you feedback, okay, on the product and what their experience is. You want to make them feel comfortable, okay? And the sociologist to me is cringing right now, because you shouldn't try to, incentivize anyone to give you quality feedback. But I think that if you really have someone who wants to speak their mind about your product, they're going to find an outlet. Give them one, okay? One that you can monitor, one that you can manage, one that you can actually see the real feedback that is actually being put out there about your business. Because I see a lot of times that these businesses that are out there that are getting this feedback online, they're not taking heed to it. Okay. And if they are, they're not responding to the consumers. So individuals like myself see that they've had a bad experience. And I don't know if I necessarily want to go through the same thing, because they have not necessarily even responded to Joe Schmo that just said X, Y, and Z. So testimonials testimonials help you truly source the best businesses. And we all utilize these platforms to find these things. Do we have any questions? I'm going to run down some of these apps that I said again. Okay, I know we don't have any questions. I'm going to run down these apps that we said again, so that way individuals can write these down. If you have not, you want to make sure that your business is represented in these spaces. Okay, you obviously want to make sure that your business is set up on Yelp. Okay, most businesses qualify for this. You want to make sure that your business is there. It's a great resource. They do a lot of different things. There's a lot of paid opportunities with Yelp. Okay, and it also will help you increase your Google listing without you having to pay $1, okay, or pay any dollars. You have Google, of course, okay, and as we transition into that, I'm working on some programming to get a Google expert in here, because I am not, okay, to talk to us about the Black-owned business feature, as well as some of the other accolades that they have coming up and different things that they have inside of the new G Suite. I forget exactly what the new name of it is, and that's why we're going to have an industry expert come in and talk to us about it, because there are a lot of new features inside of Google that are be utilized, but the Black-owned business feature is a crucial thing. However, you want to make sure that your reviews are proper and in place. Niche yourself into these spaces, because they will be more quickly searched, all right, and you will be more spotlighted. So you want to make sure that your stuff's in place. So Google and Yelp are the first two, okay? You want to make sure that your business is represented as a business on LinkedIn and Facebook, okay? As well as on Instagram, okay? Instagram is kind of that one that I'm not really heavy on you doing, but you want to make sure that you are capable of being tagged and shared on LinkedIn as a business. It does not have to be your personal page. Okay, you do have to attach it to your personal page, I do believe, or will attach you because of the work history, but you need to set up a LinkedIn page, okay, that is a business page that will allow individuals to communicate and go back and forth. Same thing with Facebook, okay? Facebook is super crucial, and they have the ability to do a multitude of things with your consumer. One of the features is the testimonials and review section, okay? So you want to ask individuals to leave you reviews, because that then helps, okay, as things go. If you're selling stuff on Facebook, if you're selling stuff on eBay, if you're selling stuff in the digital e-commerce space in general, reviews are truly, truly crucial. And if you have never sold on eBay or bought anything on eBay, you may not understand this, but eBay is truly the foundation of a lot of that, okay? You look and see if somebody is a reputable seller. You want to make sure that the product that you're getting is real. You want to make sure that it's going to be exactly how they're selling it, okay? And you look at reviews, and individuals that have 40 million reviews versus somebody who has one review, okay, tend to do a little bit better. Same thing with testimonials, and those are just that, allowing individuals to see and experience the experience that you've had with other consumers that have been in the same boat, okay? Keep that in mind. Let's go to our 3 to 4 people. Okay, we wrote those down in the beginning. I asked you to take a second to write those down. I've now showed you different ways that you can repurpose these items onto different platforms. I've also showed you examples of exactly what they could look like, okay, in different ways that they can be branded and manipulated. I've also told you the platforms where you could go to source those things, okay? Those 3 to 4 people are a way to kickstart what's happening, okay? They're a great foundation for that round 1 of your testimonial campaign, okay? I want you to find and seek out those 4 people, 3 to 4 people, okay? And I want you to ask them to write 1 to 3, 2 to 5 sentences about your business, their experience with your brand, okay? And ask them if you can then formulate that into a branded image that reflects your business and their words, okay? And if they're okay with the imagery as well, okay? Their words, their imagery, and your brand, and create something that can then be shared across multiple platforms. 90% of the people, and I shouldn't say a number, okay, most people will be okay with that and are excited about that. Each and every person that's on these social media platforms is looking for something to share, and especially something of high quality, as we see that it is very easy to access some of this high quality imagery that's out here. Ask these people to be a voice for your business and for the consumers that will get to experience your product in days to come. If you have questions about ways to do this, I will also tell you to download, to log in and sign up for Canva, Canva.com. They allow you different templates and platforms. If you go to the search bar and type in testimonials, they have templates, okay, that you can utilize, that you can literally drag, drop pictures, names, and all that, format it to the size that you need. And when you're in Canva, you can literally format it to a website banner, to a letter format, to a PowerPoint, okay, to a brochure. You can formulate it to any size that you may need, okay? So keep that in mind as well. And make sure that you save these, okay, because they can then be repurposed in a multitude of ways. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, okay? My email is jourdan@african-americanchamber.com, okay? And I can be reached there. To reach out to me with any questions. Let's talk about October as we round things off. We are wrapping up September, and I am the second to last program for this month. We actually have a program with KeySpot app tomorrow, a application designed by a company called Quality SAP. The owner, a CEO, is Cynthia McAllister. And when I say that this app is dope, guys, it is dope. Okay, it is really, really awesome. There is a member spotlight that is already posted to our website, and as well as to this very same YouTube channel. Okay, I want you to make sure that you click on that and learn a little bit more about KeySpot. If you check us out tomorrow at 12 o'clock, okay, right here in this very same Zoom room, 852-005-2235, you will actually be able to join the app for free tomorrow. We want to get you in there. We want you to be national in terms of the views of what's happening. KeySpot is stretching literally from the left coast all the way to the east, and they are truly doing their thing, and they're a Black-owned, female-led business, female-owned business that are really doing their thing. Okay, KeySpot is really awesome and competing in a much greater way and a more honest way, in my opinion, than spaces like Yelp and some of these spaces where individuals are paying to actually play. Check us out tomorrow for that. KeySpot app, 12/1. In October, we've got some amazing things happening. And as you know, programming will drop tomorrow, okay, at 12 o'clock. We have programming with New York Life Insurance, okay, our friend Ron Jackson. We have Robert Lamoth and Mackey Advisors presenting some amazing work tools. Of course, we have our Tech Foundations with the Koo Williams coming up. Election season is upon us, guys. It is time to vote, okay? We have an amazing opportunity to learn about some different things with the Board of Elections as well. They're in the third week of the month. We are also going to have a meet and greet with 3CDC in a virtual sense, okay, and have them actually talk about the different things that they have going on, ways that you can partner with them, and different opportunities to actually build within their network and take advantage of some of the things that they have going on a seasonal basis. We also have some amazing programming from Carlton Collins coming up, and an opportunity for you to meet individual nonprofit boards through a company here in Cincinnati called Cincinnati Cares and their event called the Board Connect. I asked them to extend this invitation to us to allow us to attend and open up the opportunity to individuals of the chamber and the chamber programs, because I think it's super important that we learn more about these nonprofit boards and the individuals that they're looking for. I think are sometimes super varied. I think individuals like myself and individuals like others that are here viewing the program were needed in these spaces. They're looking to diversify some of these non-diverse nonprofit boards that have never seen individuals like ourselves before. Please, please, please check out the Cincinnati Cares Board Connect event. There will be an email for you. That is on October 21st, if you want to go ahead and mark that on your calendar. We also have some awesome programming being presented by the Better Business Bureau, as well as First Financial Bank and our wonderful supporter, Shenda Larry. Today's been great. I appreciate you guys for coming out today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're super excited about programs here at the African American Chamber, and I can say that we are still on track to do over 200 programs this year. We are at over 150 programs, guys, over 150 programs already in 2020, despite COVID. We really appreciate the support, and it could not be done without you. We really appreciate you, and please know that great things are happening here at the African American Chamber of Commerce. We are looking forward to seeing you again in the physical sense soon, but until then, we'll keep things safe and virtual, and we hope you're doing the same. If you need anything, please reach out. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.